The Republican candidates have weighed in on Gaddafi's death, and as you might expect, they were wary about giving too much credit to the administration. Ray Sullivan is Rick Perry's communications director, and he joins me now. Mr. Sullivan, good to see you from Austin, I see.
Good morning.
We know, I want to read this statement that you guys put out on this, on Gaddafi. It said, quote, the U.S. must also take an active role in ensuring the security of any remaining stockpiles of Gaddafi's weapons, Perry said. These weapons pose a real danger to the United States and our allies, and we cannot help secure them through simple observation. What do you want to see? What does Governor Perry want to see the president do right now on that front?
Well, again, getting our arms around what stockpiles of weapons, whether there are chemical weapons still on the ground in Libya, and help secure that, and then work with the Libyan people. They take the lead, of course, to make sure that that country is peaceful and brings together a coalition government that can succeed and hopefully be pro-Western. As you alluded earlier, the proof on this policy is going to be in the pudding in the long run. Is Libya going to be a workable, hopefully pro-Western, or at least not anti-Western country? And we need to see where this goes in the long run.
You know, during the debate last week, all of the candidates on stage, but particularly Governor Perry, was wary of foreign aid in general, and Governor Perry was talking about not providing many funds to the United Nations. Would a President Perry be holding back funds at this point to Libya, or would he be advocating foreign aid to Libya?
Okay, President Perry wants to make sure that our foreign aid is going to countries that are going to at least work with us to be pro-American to the extent possible, certainly not anti-American. And part of all of this discussion when it comes to the Obama policy is the whole thing is muddled. It is hard to determine what exactly is the Obama foreign policy, why they take certain actions in some places and not others. We need to go back to a foreign policy that is in America's best interest first and foremost, and that builds a stronger U.S. economy, a stronger U.S. foreign policy, military, and doesn't reward bad behavior across the world aimed at us or our allies.
I want to move to the Republican primary and the battle that's been going on this week. Charles Krauthammer, pretty influential conservative columnist, wrote this about Governor Perry's candidacy. He says, Perry's often clueless responses betray an even deeper problem. He simply hasn't thought through the issues on a national scale. He is still Texas, and Texas simply isn't enough. How do you respond to Mr. Krauthammer?
Well, we put forward a very bold jobs plan a week ago Friday in Pittsburgh to quickly unleash 1.2 million good American jobs by opening up U.S. lands and waters across the country to more energy exploration. We believe that is a good, quick way to jumpstart the economy that does not require congressional approval in many circumstances. The governor is going to have another major pillar of that jobs policy next week in South Carolina. So we have a record of job creation in this state. As we've often said, 40% of the new jobs since June of 2009 nationally have been right here in Texas. We are putting our policies forward to bring that energy, that enthusiasm, that job creation vision to the rest of the country, and that will expand next week in South Carolina.
So you think, Mr. Krauthammer, you think he's got it wrong, that that's fine that Governor Perry is Texas and Texas is enough?
The Texas record is a huge benefit and a huge foundation to build upon, but we're going forward with a vision for the whole country to spark job creation, spark economic growth, spark a stronger, more fiscally conservative, fiscally disciplined America. We saw that in Pittsburgh a week ago Friday with a 1.2 million job plan, and we're going to have more plans and more economic reforms out next week in South Carolina.
I know one of those reforms is going to be advocating for a flat tax. Here's what Governor Romney said about a flat tax yesterday while campaigning in Iowa.
The flat tax has positive features. Then again, you have to look and make sure that it doesn't raise taxes on middle-income Americans. For me, one of the key criteria in looking at tax policy is to make sure that we help the people that need the help most. And in our country, the people who need the help most are not the poor who have a safety net, not the rich who are doing just fine, but the middle class.
That's been part of the key criticism of Herman Cain's 999 plan, and it's been part of criticisms of flat tax proposals in the past, that when you take away all of those deductions that the middle class enjoys and that are popular, whether it's homeowners deduction, child tax credits, the flat tax ends up being a little bit of a hindrance on them financially. How are you going to address this?
Well, let me say first with Governor Romney, we'll see what he has to say about this tomorrow, because it seems to his ideas and opinions and positions seem to evolve on a daily basis. Chuck, I'm not going to give you a whole lot more about our plan today. You need to stay tuned for next week. But tax rates will be lower, flatter, fairer for everyone. It'll be a whole lot simpler to deal with the tax system, to file taxes in this country. And we believe those lower rates, those fairer rates, combined with some good, solid fiscal conservatism in Washington, will really unleash job creation, entrepreneurship, investment in this country, and get our economy back on track where it needs to be.
All right, I got to leave it there. Ray Sullivan, Communications Director for the Perry Campaign. Ray, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Chuck.